Welcome back to Speak Your Truth with Charlie. I'm about to head in for Back to Black, the movie about Amy Winehouse. So when I get out, I'll give you guys my honest reaction and we'll talk about it. All right, you guys, see you soon. So I'm back to give my reaction of Back to Black. So, you guys, this movie to me was one of the saddest movies I ever seen, because to have someone that has so much going on in her life, so talented, so beautiful, just in, just every day what we're looking for as far as someone being successful. She was that. She was a songwriter. She was a singer. She just had a great family that she came from. Her mom and her dad were still in her life. What else did we learn about Amy? That she didn't do drugs to begin with. She didn't do drugs at all. It wasn't until she got with the boyfriend that she was with, that then turned out to be her husband, that she even did drugs. In the beginning, she didn't even drink, and then to see her go down, that downward spiral was very sad to watch. It was very sad to watch. But I wanted to know what happened, because all I had ever read was that she had such a messed up childhood. That wasn't true at all. And the movie brought that out. And I was really game to see that part, that she didn't have I was looking for her to be abused, or, she was always with her dad. They always had conversations. Now, it looked like her mom and her dad got divorced early on and whatnot. And she was basically that mediator to keep them, like an even keel. But Amy didn't have a bad childhood at all. She was involved with both of her parents, and that was something that I read. So, I'm really sad that the media put that out there, because that's why we probably need movies like this, right? To actually show us what it really was. And so that was nice to see. It was also nice to see that she wasn't basically doing drugs from her early age, you know what I mean? Well, I mean, she died at 27, right? Is what we saw in the movie, 27. Man, that's super early. 27, I hadn't even lived my life yet. 27, wow. That's something just to take in for a minute, right? You guys definitely put in the comments what y'all think about my reactions thus far. If it's something else that you want me to dive into with my reactions from the different movies, but definitely put them in the comments, you guys. This one was kind of tough. It was kind of tough because I'm going to tell you guys why it was so tough for me. Later on in the movie, I'm going to realize that I had a bit of a trigger. And I'm going to share that with you guys after I finish this reaction. But why it was so hard for me, because I listened to Amy Winehouse. I listened to her quite a lot. And even when I heard that she died, I cried. I did cry. It's not too many artists that I cry for. Whitney Houston was one of them. Amy was one of them. Prince was one of them. I shed a tear for all three of those people. Luther Vandross was one of them. 4 people that I can remember to date that I cried for. Because those 4 people, to me, were at the top of their game. Awesome singers, awesome artists, and just had it going on. And I saw well, I never saw Amy in concert. I never got to see Whitney or Luther. And my other artist is Celine Dion. Most of you guys know that. That's like my sixth artist. But I never got to see Celine, and I'm probably never gonna get to see her because now she can't do concerts, right? But needless to say, getting back to the reaction, that's why this Amy Winehouse really hit me. And I was looking for so many different things, like, to tell me what she died of. I mean, even in the movie, they just said that she died, and basically it was alcohol poisoning that she got. And we saw her throughout the movie. You guys haven't seen the movie, right? But I've seen it, so I'm gonna tell you guys. Throughout the movie, we saw her throwing up. And I was wondering, was she pregnant? You know, at some point? But it was the alcohol that was making her throw up. So that tells me that she was getting to the point of cirrhosis of the liver. She was drinking so much that it was taking a toll on her. So in the movie, which you guys have not seen yet, right? She actually had a point where she stopped drinking. She stopped drinking. She went cold turkey and stopped drinking. She actually went to rehab, even though she says, no, oh no. She actually went to rehab and she stopped drinking. And she was telling her dad, she told her dad that she loved him. He came over and she said it was really hard. Well, on her way walking him out, right? Reporters were all over the place or whatever. And so when dad left, one of the reporters basically said to her, do she want to comment on the fact of Blake was her husband, of Blake basically getting his girlfriend pregnant. She went into the house and shed a tear. She started playing a song that her and Blake had, he had told her about this group. And he played her the song and he did, all of the singing and whatnot of the song. What she didn't know at that point when she met Blake is Blake had a girl already. His girl showed up. He introduced her to Amy. And she was like, basically, yeah, I don't want to know this bitch. I'm your chick and I'm hungry. So let's go get a bite to eat. Basically, that's how it went down. And Amy was like telling him like, yeah, we're going to make sure that we get that tea. Because that's what she had told him earlier in the day. Like, basically, forget about her. Let's go get this tea, make it a point to get this tea. Anyway, as it progressed on, or what have you, in their relationship, Amy told him several times that she wanted to be married. She wanted to have, I believe it was 6 kids and whatnot. So you see the burn, this girl is trying to get off of these drugs that you basically got her on. And I'm going to say this, right? We don't know for sure that Blake got her on the drugs, but the implication was that he got her on the drugs. Because we never seen her do cocaine or anything hard. We knew she was in the movie. She was doing weed, right? But never anything harder than that, right? When she got with him, he was sniffing lines and whatnot. And she told him basically that was whack. You know what I mean? That's how she felt about it. She told him that was whack. And that she wouldn't do that because that was whack. But then started doing it. And we just saw at one point in the movie, she got a delivery when they had broke up. And then he basically texted her and got back with her. And he told her initially that he was leaving her and going back to his ex-girlfriend, left her, went back to the ex-girlfriend. Then I guess broke up with the ex-girlfriend. She kept putting out records, saw that she was doing, immaculately well in the music industry, sent her a text. She ran to him. They got back together, then got married. And this is just, me just cutting it into a nutshell, okay? But you definitely have to see the movie. The movie was amazing. I liked how they broke everything down and basically gave you that thesis, because that is one thing that never was given with any of the Amy Winehouse movies. They never gave you the thesis, but they never even gave you the artistry as far as her music, you know what I mean? Showing you her writing the songs, her singing the songs, her really trying to connect with the fans. All of this was in this movie, and I appreciated it. And they gave her dignity. That was another thing that really didn't make me feel good about the other movies that I saw on Lifetime and some other places, was that they didn't give her dignity. That was one of the things too, and I'm sorry to bring up Whitney again in my reflection of this movie, but it really holds true, because I saw the Whitney movie as well, the recent one, and that was something I appreciated, because all the other movies just really made Whitney look like a crackhead, you know what I mean? And she was much more than that. She was somebody's sister, she was somebody's aunt, she was somebody's cousin. She was a fantastic artist, I have every last one of her CDs that she came out with. I mean, just amazing, right? And you reduce her to just like a crackhead image, you know what I mean? And it's almost like the running joke, you know what I mean? And I didn't like it at all. This was a lady that won many, many Grammys, was writing, was, doing all of her things. Same thing like Amy. And then you reduce her to this addict, and I didn't like it. And so for me to see this movie, I was pleased by how they portrayed her. I was pleased by how they portrayed Whitney in that last movie that I saw at the theater. I really enjoyed it. I had a good cry, you know what I mean? Because it was just like another one gone too soon, right? And that's the same thing with Amy. She's gone too soon. 27 though. 27. I didn't know it was 27. Maybe I blacked that out of my head, but I did not know it was 27. Wow. 27. Gone. It's so unfortunate. It's so unfortunate. Alcohol poisoning. So unfortunate. This girl has such a bright future, and it was something that she said in the movie that she's an old soul and way before her time. So true. So true. The music that she was putting out was amazing, and I've always been like an old soul myself, and I love like jazz, and when they play like with bands, I don't know how to really explain all of that stuff, but I just could tell you what I like. And real live bands I've always liked. Even as a kid, I always liked like different melodies, and I could just vibe with it, and I knew when I heard her first song that was it. I don't know how to describe it, but how I vibe with music is so different than so many other people, and it's not so much like normal people, right? To me, they vibe with music like on the beat, right? I listen to words. I gotta listen to melodies. I gotta listen to words. The words is what get me first. Then as I listen to it a couple more times, then I'm like vibing with it. And then I'm hearing different words that I never heard before. Then the beat kind of hits me. And then I gotta play it when I'm in the tub, right? Then when I play it when I'm in the tub, that's really what seals the deal for me. I know that sounds weird, but it's true. I play a lot of my music in the tub, when I'm in the tub. And it relaxes me. It really makes me to take myself into a different place. And once I go into that different place, then I'm like, oh, okay, this is a bop. This is a bop. I can really see myself like rolling around in my car with this, music playing, right? And so, anyway, getting back to the movie, you guys definitely got to see it. If I'm rating it as, from 1 to 5, I'm going to give it a 5 because it was tactfully done, respectfully done. This girl is now gone. You have to respect the fact of her family probably having to see this. That's probably why they only did it for one day. The respect factor, I respect it. I was blown away by it. It's crazy because since she passed, I haven't been able to listen to her music. But in this movie, like now, I want to put it back on my Pandora. I want to pull out the CDs. I want to, just hear her again. It was like kind of like my way of mourning her, but I am so happy with how they did the movie. I hope you guys will come and see it. It was something that I told you guys earlier in my reaction of what I realized that me and her bonded on, right? She wanted kids, right? I have 2 daughters, right? So that's not our correlation, I believe is the word. But I wanted another baby. I wanted a son, right? And my husband at the time was cheating on me. Her husband at the time didn't cheat on her. He just kept leaving her life and making her miserable and making her probably want to go to the alcohol that ultimately took her life. You know what I mean? He left her the first time, right? He left her the first time and went back to his ex-girlfriend. Came back, married her, left her again and said that we're toxic, we're not supposed to be together, we're not good for each other. Then you get with another woman and you have what she's been always wanting, which is babies. She married you to have babies, but then you go and you get with someone and you have the baby that she's always wanted. It's no, what's the word I'm looking for? It's ironic that later, after she found that out, they found her dead. I mean, it's just crazy, right? Okay, so my husband at the time, right, cheated on me. And the woman that he cheated on me with, right? And I've never really told this, only to my close friends. So I guess you guys are my close friends today because I want to just say my piece, right? So my kid's father, both of my daughters' father, we were married for 15 years. Apparently, he had been having a relationship with his mistress for 3 years on me. I was the last to know. Looked like all his family knew. This girl that he had an affair on me with knew about me, called my phone one day Me and my kids had just came back from Bible study. Now, mind you, let me give you a picture. Earlier that morning, right, we had breakfast as a family, and I want to say I made waffles, eggs, sausage, you name it, I made it. And we had breakfast as a family. He said he had to go to work, which was bullshit. I can be real now. That was bullshit. He didn't have to go to work at all. He was going over to his mistress' house, right? And so anyway, me and the kids went to Bible study, right? And so I told him, we're going to Bible study, so I'll see you when you get back home. I'll have dinner cooked, all of that. Being the good wife and mother that I am, right? I'll have dinner cooked. So anyway, needless to say, he went to his mistress' house, right? And I guess he was taking a shower after they did whatever they did. Because, I mean, why would you need to wash yourself when you did that at home, right? So, obviously, they did something, right? And she, being the insecure woman that she is, she has to give me a call to let me know what's happening with them. But I thank her for that. Don't get it twisted. I really do thank her for that, because it rid me of him. So, and I have been asking God to reveal some things to me, because something wasn't adding up in my soul, right? So I thank her for the phone call. I definitely do. So much so that happened on a Sunday. By Monday morning, I was at Superior Court filing for divorce. You know, women, when you get these resolves that come from God, you have to heed them, okay? And that's what I did. It happened on Sunday. By Monday morning, I was filing for divorce. I don't play. And I told him when I got with him, I don't deal with cheating men. So if you cheat on me, I'm done with you, because then loyalty is broken, trust is broken. And I meant that, right? And I stood true to that. So when I found out, I acted upon it. But needless to say, she called my phone and basically was calling me all kind of bitches and hoes. It's funny you calling me a hoe and a bitch, right? But you're the mistress. I'm the one with the ring. Where does that happen? That's funny. But anyway, I appeased her. And I said, you know, if you're cheating with my husband, y'all perfect for each other. And you could basically have him, because I'm done. Nice conversation. And I said, basically, you don't even know me to be calling me a bitch or a hoe. I'm a damn good wife and mother. That's why he's with me. And if he's been cheating with you for 3 years, it's something he don't see in you, right? You think? Because he's still with his wife. How crazy do you sound? Girl, grow up. That's what I told her. Grow up. We have nothing else to talk about. Goodbye. He came home and basically wanted to talk and everything. The locks were already changed. No, this is no longer your home. Go back to your mistress. This is no longer your home. But needless to say, I'm going to fast forward this a bit, because I still filed for divorce. We never got back together. He was never involved in our kids' life, ever. Still not. And they're grown. One is about to be 22. One is about to be 21. The 21-year-old is about to turn 21 in June. My other baby girl is going to be 22 in August. And he's still not involved. But the thing that really made me think at the end with Amy, what was going on with her, was just That really sucker punched me when I found out, when I filed for divorce, right? Like, I wanted to have another baby with him, wanted to try for my boy, right? And then when we were going through mediation and everything, the counselor had basically told him that basically if there's anything that he needs to tell me, we need to be honest, because he said he wanted to make his marriage work. So they made me go through mediation, go through family counseling, go through all these different things, because he wants to make his marriage work, right? The man that's been cheating for 3 years, which is ironic, right? But needless to say, I had to go through all this stuff. He tried to fight me for full custody during the divorce. That was another thing, which actually got thrown out. They asked him what our kids' colors were. He couldn't say that. I mean, it was just a numerous amount of things that I went through, right, in this relationship that I wanted to end, and that you created all this chaos, you know what I mean? But now you want to do all this. He wants to get a lawyer and fight me for this and fight me for that. He stole all our furniture. That when I got a house with my kids, we basically didn't have nothing. I had to start from scratch. All of the furniture I had just went and bought, he took all of it just to be vindictive. You know what I mean? It was just a lot of things that I had to deal with. But the last straw and the gut puncher was, I really wanted to have my boy. I wanted to name him Micaiah. And I have a Michaela and I have a Layla. So Micaiah was the next piece to the puzzle, right? And what I found out was that the mistress that he'd been cheating on me with, not only was she pregnant, but she was pregnant with twins, right? And I found that out when we went to mediation. And not only did she have twins, right, but she lost the babies, right? And so not only have you been cheating on me for 3 years, but you're still cheating on me, and you're doing it bareback, because now this woman is now pregnant and lost your babies, okay? And later on in mediation again, I find out that now she's pregnant again. And guess what she's having? A boy. The boy that I wanted to have with my husband, his mistress is now having. So that was the gut puncher. And let me say this too. Even though that was a gut puncher, that was still at the time my husband's son, right? And my kid's brother. So I never take things out on the kids, right? That's still your son. I expected him to take care of his son. I don't believe he's doing that either. And I expected him to take care of our children. And he never did that. He never helped me with nothing for our kids. School expenses, you name it, I took care of it. And so I could totally feel how she felt. She wanted to get pregnant for her husband and have her first baby. She wanted 6 babies, and that never happened for her. You know what I mean? So I totally feel that, you know, men that do you that way as their wives is really fucked up, to say the least. It's really fucked up. And this lady is now gone. Maybe she couldn't handle it. You know, I've been a tough cookie in my life, but it's some stuff that's really got me down. You know what I mean? But I had God, even though I didn't have a lot of family that really give a shit about me, and that's the real long and short of it. I had God. And when I didn't have God, I had friends that were like my sisters, that looked out for me. And now God has had a real core group around me now that look out for me still to this day. even when family doesn't. So I thank them for always having my back and looking out for me, and God sending really decent people around me now. I wish Amy had that, like real friends around her. I know she had her dad, she had her mom, she had Nan in the movie, which was her stepmom that she really loved. And she did have some pieces, but somebody that she could confide in, and tell some of the deeper things that was going on. Because a lot of things her family didn't even know. They didn't even know that she was an addict at one point. They didn't know a lot of things until the end of the movie, really. And so maybe if she had someone to confide in and someone to bounce things off of that maybe went through some of the things that she went through, it would have been helpful. I don't know. I'm not God, so I can't predict. But I wish she would have had that. You know what I mean? Because maybe she would have still been here, And we as girlfriends, you guys, we have to be ready to be honest to our girlfriends and tell them certain things that they need to hear. Don't be afraid to tell your girlfriend, you're tripping. You know what I mean? This guy is not good for you. Maybe you need to take some time out for yourself or what have you. Be honest with your girlfriends. And if you don't have a girlfriend that you could be honest with, then maybe that person doesn't need to really be your friend. You know what I mean? Because that's very important when you're going through something like this. Even when I went through my divorce, I had my friend Carol that I could talk to about a lot of different things because she went through a divorce before. You know what I mean? I had my friend Monique, when I would get, down and whatnot, and she knew I was going through stuff, she would come and get the kids for me and take them for ice cream and take them shopping for school. I mean, those were my two friends. They're now passed on, and I miss them every day. Not for what they did for me, but the company, just hearing me when I had to speak about different things. They let me vent on them, and it was vice versa, you know what I mean? And I know they really love me, so that made it easier to talk to them. So I guess the moral of the story, you guys, is that, when you do pray for enlightenment in some way from God or to reveal something to you, take heed to it. You know what I mean? Don't put yourself in a situation that you can't handle. Even with Amy in the movie, she knew her husband was a lot. She knew her boyfriend was a lot, but she loved him more than she almost loved herself. If you see the movie, you'll understand what I'm saying. She said, "You are my soul, you are my core, basically. And without you, I have nothing." And once you get to that point of the love that you have for another person, they can stomp all over you. They can stomp all over your heart, your emotions, because they figure you can't live without them. And that was unfortunate for her. But she was young, and sometimes in love and at a young age, you might feel that way. You know what I mean? So this is no diss to her, I fell in love, at a young age too. My kid's father. We have been knowing each other since, elementary school. And then I saw him again, and, I thought that was something that was supposed to be meant to be, you know what I mean? But he took me through a lot of shit, you know what I mean? And I dealt with it. And so, in love, sometimes you're vulnerable and sometimes you're not so smart. But now I'm 47 now. Now I live life. It's not no man that could show me something that I haven't seen. You understand what I'm saying? And I want to say when I was in my 20s, I was a little bit naive. You know what I mean? I was a virgin, all those type of things. And so men take advantage of that. But now I have lived life. You know what I mean? And I've been single now for almost 6 years. And that's by purpose, because, you know, nobody can run game on me. Nobody. And when I see it coming, I'm like, no, no. So I've chosen to be single by choice, you know? And if someone's going to step to me, they're going to have to step to me correct. Otherwise, I'm prepared to be single for the rest of my life. And that's just basically what it is. So anyway, put it in the comments, you guys, what y'all feel about my reaction about the movie. Some of my thoughts I've shared with you about my life. If you feel any of that, please go ahead and put it in the comments. And I'm gonna wrap up this video. It went longer than I expected, and I'm so sorry if you guys got bored with what I had to say, but I don't know, God was inspiring me to get it off of my chest, and so I did. If you have any questions, please go ahead and put those in the comments. And until next time, you guys, my Speak Your Truthers, I am Charlie, and until next time, bye-bye.